And if you want, you can just flip it like this. Woohoo! Let's try this delicious gochujang tofu. Cheers! Mmm. Mmm.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to announce that I have 3 vegan trips coming up around the world. You can come with me to Thailand or Bali or both in August, and I also have a trip to Costa Rica happening in January. You'll get to meet and travel with me and other like-minded, awesome people from around the world. We're gonna eat some delicious vegan food, go on adventures, and learn about the local culture, and we're also gonna have an experienced local guide. These trips are so amazing, so don't miss out. So whether you want to escape the cold and come with me to Costa Rica in January, or you can't wait to travel and you want to come with me to Southeast Asia, check out the links down below and don't miss out because there are limited spots.
Hi guys, it's Rose and welcome back to Cheap Lazy Vegan and another cook with me video. Today's video I'm going to make some gochujang tofu. So gochujang, if you don't know, is one of my favorite things ever, which is Korean red pepper paste. It usually comes in a red tub. I'll put a picture here somewhere. Okay, it is basically a red pepper paste that has a lot of flavor. It is spicy, and us Koreans, we put it in everything. So today we're gonna make a really yummy gochujang tofu. I'm kind of half winging the recipe. So we're gonna, go on a little cooking journey together, and I'll kind of talk you through my thought process. And yeah, let's make some gochujang tofu. All right guys, so what we're gonna do is first we are going to take some extra firm tofu. I actually froze this because I wanted to test out the texture, because if you guys didn't know, if you freeze your tofu, it changes the texture to kind of a little bit more of a meaty texture. So I froze it and I defrosted it. Here it is, looks like a normal block of tofu, but it should be able to squeeze a little bit more water out. Now this is extra firm, so there isn't too much water content already, but if you do this with medium firm, you can squeeze out a ton of water, and it kind of becomes like a tender meat sort of thing. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. Ooh. So if you also want to marinate your tofu with some sort of a marinade, freezing it and then thawing it out and then marinating it will help the tofu really soak in that delicious marinade, okay? So you can kind of just like rip it up, or I'm just gonna cut it into cubes, okay? Whatever you want, or again, rip it up into pieces. It's up to you, okay? So I'm just gonna cut it into kind of bite-sized cubes. Here we are. And in the meantime, you wanna heat your pan. Now you can also bake or air fry your tofu as well. I'm just gonna keep it simple and pan fry it, and yeah, it's just faster, okay? But if you want, you can air fry it and then toss it in the sauce. So many options here for you. Here we go. So now we have some tofu cubes. And now what are we gonna do? I need a plate. Okay. All right, friends, I have a little shallow bowl slash plate here. So I'm just gonna put the tofu into this bowl, okay? And the final measurements and recipe will be in a blog post, so I'll link that down below, guys. But for this video, I'm just kind of half winging this thing. So we're gonna add in some cornstarch, and that's gonna kind of allow the tofu to become nice and crispy on the outside. This is just kind of, a method you will probably be using a lot as a vegan. So I'm gonna do some cornstarch. So you just kind of wanna toss it in the cornstarch. Just try to coat it nicely. You can also use potato starch if you'd like, but cornstarch is readily available for most people. So there we go. You can also deep fry this too, okay? But I don't really do a lot of deep frying. So, all right, there you go. It's nice and coated in cornstarch. Now we can get to the pan, okay? So I have this pan. I'm gonna add some oil. Okay, we're gonna shallow fry it, so good amount of oil, not too much, but enough to coat the entire pan. Be careful. Ooh. And then let's add our tofu. Ooh, ready? I think my table is slanted. The oil is slanting. in a certain direction. There we go. So what you want to do is kind of try to separate the tofu pieces as much as you can because they might stick together because of the cornstarch. I might need to add a little bit more oil. So I'm just gonna separate the pieces and add a bit more oil on this side. And again, if you wanted to, you can just air fry this. I would toss it in a little bit of oil if you're going to air fry it, or if you're gonna bake it, same thing, toss it in a small amount of oil. You don't need as much when you are air frying or baking it. So yeah, you might wanna do that if that is your preference. So we're just gonna pan fry it on kind of each side, try to get it nice and golden and nice and crispy. It might take some time, but it'll be worth it. I'm gonna just flip it a few times just to get that oil coated. And if you want, you can just flip it like this. Woohoo! Okay, you can do that. It's optional, it's up to you. Add more oil as needed. I kind of like the way it's cooking. It's getting nice and golden, but I do want to cook it a little bit longer. And again, you can add a little bit more oil if you need to. It's really soaking up that oil. I think it's because I froze it. It's really soaking up that oil nicely, guys. So, there we go. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is make the sauce, okay? So the sauce is where the magic happens. While this cooks, you can make the sauce. So it's gonna be a very quick recipe. It's gonna be a quick turnaround. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this aside. And this thing, I'm not even gonna bother cleaning it because who cares? So, gochujang. Obviously, this is going to be the most important ingredient, and this is gonna add a ton of flavor, but also spice. So keep that in mind, friends. This is not too spicy. Like, I don't think gochujang is very spicy, but for a lot of people, it's spicy. Okay, so keep that in mind as you make this dish. If you can't do spicy, maybe add a little less gochujang, maybe other things as well. I'm gonna do quite a bit because, you know, we're getting the flavors from gochujang mostly. It's gonna add spice, saltiness, flavor, all that stuff. So gochujang, we also wanna add some sort of a sweetener. So I'm gonna do agave, okay? Agave nectar, okay? This is a vegan sweetener. You can use corn syrup, okay? You can use maple syrup, whatever you want. Okay, so it's kind of like a sweet and spicy sauce that we're making. Slightly tangy, but we'll get to that. So we're gonna do some sauce, some sweetness. Ooh. Ooh, don't waste any of that syrup. Next, we're doing ketchup. It's gonna add more sweetness, more flavor. It's also gonna add that kind of tanginess, you know, that vinegary goodness. So let's just use up what I have here. We also have some onion powder and garlic powder. So we're gonna add that. Garlic powder. Ooh. So now I'm gonna add in a few little tablespoons of water just to thin it out because that gochujang paste is going to be quite thick, my friends. So I'm just going to use a whisk and I'm just gonna mix it, okay? Okay. Okay, so, oof, look at that. Look at that sauce. Pretty easy to mix. It's pretty thick. Let me give it a taste. It's so good. You know what I kind of want to try? I'm gonna try adding a little bit of cinnamon, maybe on like a little portion because I don't know how it's gonna be, but I feel like it's gonna bring out some flavors. You know what I'm saying? So let's just add a small dash. Oh! Too much. Oh God. Just a dash? Oh, that's a lot. It's a pretty big dash. Okay. Let me just that little portion. Ooh! It adds, The reason why I add it is because there's a Korean chicken sauce that people use. Like it's like a spicy sauce that goes on top of Korean fried chicken. Now that sauce is plant-based, and I'm pretty sure there is cinnamon in there. So I'm gonna add the rest of the cinnamon. Cinnamon is optional, but it adds a really nice flavor, okay? Depth in flavor, I might add. Okay guys, so we like the cinnamon. We love the cinnamon. So sauce is ready. I might thin it out a little bit more, because it's just like very thick. I kind of want it a bit more saucy. But that's a personal preference. If you want the sauce to stick to the tofu a little bit more, be more thick, then obviously adjust the water according to your preference. I think this is kind of what I'm looking for. All right, friends. Ooh, I've been neglecting the tofu. One day I'm gonna drop all the tofu. Today is not the day. Okay, so now I turn off the heat. It's basically ready to go. You got that lovely, golden, slightly crispy and firm sort of tofu. And now we're gonna add in that delicious gochujang sauce that we made. So let's just add that in. Ooh. And make sure you're not wasting any of that sauce. It's very vital. I like to make sure I scrape every last bit. Okay. Ooh. So now in here, maybe I want to add a little bit of water as well. And you can also do this like not in the pan. You don't have to do this in the pan, I realized. You can just do this. Ooh, it smells so good. Oh my God, you guys. It smells just like the sauce they use for Korean fried chicken. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more water and just kind of let it become a little bit saucier since I have it on the pan anyway. Now, what you can do is serve this on top of rice, which obviously is what we're going to do, okay? So let me plate it and then we can give it a try. Is the final product. We have here some gochujang tofu. Yay! Onto this tofu, we have added some sesame seeds and some green onions. Highly recommend both, although both are optional, highly recommend. So it adds, you know, an extra little bit of flavor from the sesame seeds and also that freshness and that pop of color from the green onion. And of course, I recommend eating this with rice. So I have here some rice with the gochujang tofu and some broccoli because we gotta eat our veggies, okay? So let's give this a little try. I can't wait, okay? And see how easy that was? That was really easy to make, right guys? Let's try this delicious gochujang tofu. Cheers. Oh my God, it's so good. Guys, it really reminds me of Korean fried chicken, okay? Back in the day, when I was a child, I used to eat Korean fried chicken and it would be smothered in a sauce very similar to this. And I think adding that cinnamon really makes this sauce taste like that sauce, okay? So I highly recommend adding that little bit of cinnamon. I think it tastes really good. And even the texture of the tofu, maybe because I froze it and I used extra firm tofu, it kind of has like a chickeny sort of consistency, even though I haven't had chicken for like 10 plus years, it still kind of has a little bit of that tendery, meaty consistency. It's really yummy. And the sauce isn't too overbearingly spicy, but it has a lot of flavor. It's so good. And you gotta try this out, okay? Okay, so guys, recipe is linked below in my description. Okay, right below. If you guys try this out, make sure you give my blog post a 5-star review, okay? And also give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more easy, delicious vegan recipes. I'll also link my Everyday Asian Recipes ebook down below, which has a ton of my favorite vegan Asian recipes. And I'll also link my Korean vegan recipes playlist down below as well, if you guys want to know more Korean recipes, especially gochujang recipes, okay? But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you try this out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!